A journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field.
Welcome to John Hens's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville, Lackawanna County. Tonight, it's the District 2 4A semifinal between Coughlin and Valley View. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide. Welcome to week number 12 of high school football. Joining me in the booth, Chris Kaharski from NEPAfootball.com, and our own Aaron Dugan will join us shortly. Well, Chris, we expected Valley View to be in the semifinals, but I'm not sure about Coughlin.
Well, Coughlin pulled a big upset last week down in Dallas. They lost 54-7 in the season opener to the Mountaineers. And then last week, they went down to Dallas. They out-physicaled Dallas and came away with a very big upset victory. The question is, can they do it 2 weeks in a row? Ciro Cinti is confident in his team.
If they want to do it 2 weeks in a row, they're going to rely on Mr. Everything. He's the quarterback, the wide receiver, kick return, punt returner. I think he drove the bus here tonight. He's Vincent Todd.
I love this kid. He's a great kid. He's a great football player, and he's electric. The word I like to use for him, Bob, we know his sprinter speed. We know he's fast, but he's slippery. If you don't form tackle him, if you don't wrap up, he's going to get away from you. He's going to make a big play. He did it twice to Dallas last week on a run and on a punt return. They didn't tackle him. 3 guys in the backfield. He escapes, scores touchdowns. He's full of big plays.
Valley View has one of the most potent running attacks in all of District 2, and they've gone to Seth Vernon for most of their attack.
Seth is another really good kid, another sprinter, track kid. Yeah, we might have a track meet break out here today. I mean, we got some fast players on this field. But Seth, you know, he struggled a little bit in his career with injuries, but he's been healthy this year. He's been the main man, and he is having a great season. He might even have more yardage if they didn't have so many blowouts this year. He's got some good supporting cast around him, too, but he's the key for them because, again, he can go to the house anytime.
Chris heard about the weather. He's got the hat on. It's a glove night here. How cold will it get? Let's ask Mike Linden for the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Another edition of Friday Night Rivals, and boy, is it going to be cold out there tonight. Temperatures dipping into the low 20s. This is some of the coldest air that we have felt so far this season. And once you factor in that 5 to 10 mile per hour wind, that 20-degree mark likely to feel more like 10 degrees, if not even colder than that. Winter's not here yet, Bob, but it most certainly feels like it.
Absolutely, Mike. When we return, it's the berth in the District 2 4A Championship is on the line. It's Coughlin and Valley View next.
You're watching Wendy's Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
And the Coughlin Crusaders take the field, trying to upset the Valley View Cougars. The Cougars looking to move into the championship game, District 2 4A. Welcome back, everyone, to John Hens's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. We're getting set for tonight's semifinal. The third member of our crew is Aaron Dugan. She's all bundled up. But these two teams, Aaron, do have a history with each other.
Yeah, Bob, even though Valley View comes in as the favorite tonight, Coughlin gave them a hard time last year. Valley View winning just 20-13. Chandler Fuller had a big night in the air. Tonight, though, I think it's going to be all on the ground, Bob. Very cold, very windy.
Yeah, we should see a potent rushing attack from both teams. Coughlin won the toss. They deferred, so Jeff Montulik does the kicking. Boone and Vernon set the receive at the 10, and we're underway in Peckville. This is Boone from his 15. Up past the 25 to the 26, and now time to check out your Toyota starting lineup. Valley View will see Chandler Fuller in there with Pitzman in the backfield. The receivers, Duplessis, Combs, and a change at the tight end. It's Rosina. Up front, as Chris will tell you, they're big, strong, and young for the Cougars, Chris.
Yeah, 5 underclassmen in an offensive line. They're playing really well this year, Bob, and they got a bright future ahead of them, too.
They come out in the I formation. Verano had a big week last week. sets the tone. Big gain up past midfield into Crusader territory. Gain of about 15.
Good start to the Cougar running game. You'll see they pull a couple people there, including E.J. Alco. He gets out in front. And we're going to see this both with Vernon and Todd. Once they get through the first part of the defense, that's when they become real dangerous. That time Vernon just ran out of room, but a good first down gain and a good play for the Cougars on the first play of the game.
This Cougar team comes in averaging nearly 300 yards on the ground per game. Big rush put on, good tackle.
On the carry.
In the backfield by number 14, Raphael McCoy. Here is that defense from the Crusaders. They gave up 24 points per game. Watch out for Young on the outside, 82 tackles on this season. They run a 3-5, 5 linebackers in there, including Jake Cole. We'll talk about him, 108 tackles on the year. And Todd, he'll anchor that secondary.
Valley View is going to go nobody in the backfield on this play, Bob. They like to do this just to change it up a little bit from their traditional running game.
Fuller's first pass, a little out. Caught by Chase Combs up to near the 40-yard line.
Tackle made by McCoy.
That was McCoy again. He's made two good plays here defensively here on this first series. Short tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, Bob Combs escapes and probably gets first down yards. Instead, the Cougars are going to have to convert a third down here on this first drive.
Cougars averaged 35 points per game, scored 51 last week in a shutout against Crestwood. Vernon, good speed to the outside, has running room. Good shoestring tackle. He might have been off to the end zone. Gets up to around the 32-yard line.
I think that was Cole who tripped them up there, and you're right, Bob. They just run a sweep to the weak side. Again, pulling is one of the offensive linemen, Alco, enough room to get the first down, and that's twice we've seen Vernon get some room to run, and that's when he's most dangerous.
How important, Chris, is it for Coughlin to stop a drive on the first possession of the game?
Well, when you're an underdog, you got to keep it close early. You got to keep your confidence that you can win the football game. So this is a very important drive defensively.
Fuller can run it, and he has room. Chandler Fuller. Touchdown to Valley View, 32 yards.
And that's the other part of this Valley View offense. It's not just Vernon. It's not the other running backs. Fuller is capable at any time of taking it to the house. It's a planned running play. Look at the huge hole. Great block by Rosina. Great block by Pittsman. Downfield, he gets another one. And Fuller just heads for the pylon, and Valley View jumps out early.
This Cougar team playing with a lot of confidence late in the season, trying to get to the district championship game. Cesarini in for the extra point. It's high. It's muffed. And Coughlin finds him and gets him out of bounds. But the first touchdown of the evening goes to the Cougars. They march the field and they lead 6-0. So the kick will be returned. Wait, we have a flag back, 37-yard line, and they'll re-kick it.
At Cam Graphics, our customers are number one. We work with you through the entire process, from design all the way to final approval. We offer school spirit apparel, screen printing, and embroidery work. From 1 piece to 1,000 pieces, no order is too small. Call Cam Graphics or check them out on Facebook for ideas and prices. Get 10% off your next order when you use the code VV.
Offsides, Valley View will back them up and should give Coughlin decent field position. Vincent Todd back to receive. It looks like along with Jake Cole, number 32. And I suspect, Chris, they'll keep it away from Todd as much as possible.
That would be a wise thing to do because he is capable at any time to take it to the house.
This is Sakati who does the kickoffs for the Cougars from his 35. Squib kick. Live ball. Coughlin falls on it at the 40. So Vincent Todd and company will take the field for the first time.
Well, again, Coughlin's defense couldn't get the stop, so it's up to Coughlin's offense to at least get a drive here, Bob. You don't want to go 3 and out and give Valley View the ball right back. Last week, the Cougars against Crestwood, I think they gave up 1 first down the whole game. Their defense for Crestwood was on the field the whole time. That's why Valley View put up 51 points last week.
Todd, not much of a thrower, 363 yards on the season. He's attempted just 37 through the air. Valley View will put a lot in the box. It's time to give it to Big J. Cole, and Cole up for about 4 yards.
Cole is the workhorse for this offense. Todd's going to make some plays, but they rely on Cole to keep it in between the tackles and keep the defense honest. He's a hard runner. I remember when he was a sophomore, Bob, and watching him play on defense, you could tell this kid was going to be a very good football player for several years at Coughlin. He has done that.
He has over 1,200 yards on the ground this season for the Crusaders. Cole again. He shows a burst of speed up past the 50 to the 49. They say the ball's down. Time now to take a look at the Toyota offensive starters. We talked about Cole's. We don't really see Young too much carry the ball back there. Receivers, when they do throw, they try to get it to McCoy a lot. And then up front, speaking of Young, just 2 seniors on the offensive line. Golitis is kind of an all-region type center. Inside reverse. McCoy will try to get it to him on the ground as much as they can. He's carried the ball 14 times on the season.
Good first down gain again. If Coughlin could get 4 yards on first down, it's going to give them a lot of flexibility in what they want to run. You saw that time a nice job by McCoy getting the edge that time and able to turn upfield and get a great first down gain for the second straight time here on this drive.
Todd yet to have a carry. He's handed it off 3 times. Coughlin put up 28 points last week with some broken plays. Speaking of Todd, oh, there he is, elusive, shoots through past the 35. 11-yard gain for the first carry for Vincent Todd.
You better not stand and wait for Vincent Todd if you're going to tackle him. You have to be aggressive and go after him. You see Sam Pitzman got caught off balance there. Todd made a good move before Boone came up and made the tackle, but that's what he's good at. He's slippery, like we mentioned in the pregame show, Bob. He really does a good job of avoiding that first contact, and that's what he makes him so special.
And for Coughlin, it's an easy Toyota key to the game. You do not want to turn the ball over, right?
Yeah, you want to keep the offense in possession as much as possible because of how good Valley View's offense has been this year.
So movement up front. Flag on the far side. I think it's going to go against Coughlin for illegal motion. Joe Lally Jr., our referee tonight.
And these are the kind of mistakes Coughlin can't afford to make, Bob. You're an underdog, turnovers, penalties. You have to avoid those type of things at any level of football when you're playing a very good football team. So, you know, Valley View hasn't really been able to stop Coughlin here on this drive, but Coughlin now, with that penalty, in danger of stopping themselves.
Split backfield for the Crusaders. Todd cuts it inside. A burst of speed for him. Up for 15 right near the first down marker.
And Todd is doing what he did to Dallas last week already. Watch this. 1, 2. 2 missed tackles, not getting in the right spot, lunging, not being aggressive. If Valley View is going to try to tackle him like that, you're going to see the same result last week. Again, Boone had to save the touchdown from happening for the Cougars.
And he doesn't need much room, so that's good for the offensive line and the blockers.
He's very elusive. He runs to the hole, but he also can avoid contact, and that's what he's good at. If you make contact with him and you wrap up, that's the only way you're going to stop him.
Coughlin at the Valley View 23. Right up the middle for Todd. Shoots through like a cannon to the end zone. Touchdown Crusaders. They answer the Cougar touchdown with one of their own.
Great blocking up front. That hole was gigantic for Todd. It was a run the whole way for the Crusaders. He gets the big hole. Lead blocker didn't even have anybody to block. And he drags Cordish into the end zone. And Coughlin has a chance with the extra point here to take the lead.
Matulik in for the extra point. This one could give him the lead. I think it's to the left, but it's good. The referee say it got over the outside goalpost, and the Crusaders march 60 yards in 60 plays, and they lead Valley View in this District 2 4A semifinal 7-6.
Being Pennsylvania's oldest Chevrolet dealership means the Allen Hornbeck Chevrolet in Forest City treats you like family. It's been that way since 1960. Check out the complete selection of Chevy Silverado, Tahoe, Equinox, and more. Find new roads, go to AllenHornbeckChevrolet.com.
So the Crusaders, who at one point in the season lost 3 in a row, have things rolling their way, and they've been doing it with the legs of Vincent Todd. And why not? Here's what they have gone through in the season. It's been a roller coaster of a season, Chris. They lost the first 2 games by what? 96-7 in the first 2 games, and then a couple wins in the middle, losses, and we go to the next page. They lose 3 more in a row at the end of the year, and suddenly they beat Dallas last week 28-0.
Again, they struggled early. I think the offensive line was trying to get together, trying to put people in the right places, but that doesn't matter. It matters how you're playing at the end of the season. Right now, they're playing their best football. You saw them do it to Dallas last week. Here offensively, they have a great first drive. Todd really making Valley View struggle to get him down on plays.
This is a short kick. Taken by one of the up men and get a number past the 35. So the Cougars come back out trailing now by 1 up to the 37. Here are some Pasquale's Pizza impact players, Chris.
Well, obviously Chandler Fuller, we saw his impact already on the touchdown run. Brian Durkin, a very good two-way lineman for the Cougars, Division I prospect, especially on that offensive side of the ball. And Sam Pitzman, the leading tackler for Valley View the last 2 years, makes a lot of plays. He'll get to the backfield, tackles for losses. He's a very good linebacker, one of the best in the region.
How much will Valley View want to throw the ball tonight? We'll see if Chandler Fuller puts it up at all. He will here on first down. Rolls out. In and out of the hands, trying to get it to Nazir Smith.
Yeah, he had Smith. He also had Combs downfield. Both of them were wide open. And that's the one thing about Fuller. He doesn't always set his feet, Bob. When he sets his feet, he delivers. But that time he didn't. He was on the run, overthrew Nazir Smith. And that's what you'll see when a quarterback doesn't have the right mechanics. A lot of times the ball will sail on him, and that's exactly what happened.
I know talking to Coach Hawanitz, he wants more balance from this offense. And why not? 286 on the ground, just 69 through the air per game. At some point, you're going to get stopped. And they get stopped right here. Vernon up quickly, but it'll be third down on the way for the Cougars.
Yeah, Valley View runs the ball a lot, Bob, because they're good at it. I mean, I think if they had to go throw the football, Fuller's capable of doing that, a 2-year starter now. But that's the reason you see the imbalance. I know Coach Hawaiians will say that, but if it was up to him, he would run the ball all the time if it was successful. It's just more of a keep people honest type thing.
So 4 wideouts come out on third down. Fuller out, can't hit his intended receiver, Zavkos, and it looks like the punt team will come on for Valley View.
Yeah, Young put pressure on him, and again, Fuller just getting a little, I think, rattled by the pressure from Young. Didn't deliver a strike. Again, wide open receiver. So Valley View will bring the punt unit. Now watch the Cougars on their punt team, Bob. They love to fake it. They have a bunch of different ways they do it. So you always got to be aware if you're the opposing team.
Walensky on to punt it, and let's see if they get it to Todd. High snap. He'll shade to his right and not give Todd any return. Takes a Cougar bounce, though. And Coughlin will have it just inside their 25. Do we have a flag down? We have some pushing and shoving. That's about it. And here comes Coughlin back on the field.
Well, the Coughlin defense proved they could get a stop. Now it's up to Valley View's defense. Can they stop Coughlin on offense? You know, a lot of people ask me about this game. They asked me about the other 4A title game. I thought if anybody's going to put up numbers tonight, it was these two teams. I think their offenses are bothly fine-tuned. I think that this could end up being a very high-scoring game. On the other side, Berwick and North Pocono. Berwick's already up 7-0. North Pocono's going to struggle offensively. If they let the Dogs get ahead, that's going to be a tough game for North Pocono to come back and win.
We'll go through the scoreboard a little bit later on. Maybe in the second quarter, we'll give some updates throughout the night. So Todd, after scoring the last Coughlin touchdown, back underneath center. Cole nowhere to go. Good job by the Cougars, catching Cole behind the line of scrimmage. And it's Pitzman.
Yeah, Pitzman was there. He was the one who forced out. And Trayon Jones is an interesting kid. He was the one who had the secondary help there. Watch Trayon Jones fight the block off, knock the blocker down, and come in and help with the tackle. Jones was hurt. Remember, he was their starting tailback last year. Got hurt at the beginning of this year. That gave Verdon the job kind of full time. But they've actually put him back and inserted him on defense. He gives him some speed and toughness at that linebacker core. He's a very good football player. Maybe a little undersized, but he'll hit people.
Pitzman, his 10th tackle for a loss this season. Todd into the shotgun, very tight set. Fake it, trying to get a block. This is where he gets dangerous. Todd making something out of nothing, and it looked like just like that, he gains 10 yards.
Yeah, again, Valley View has to tackle him. Poor tackling by the Cougars. You know, I'm repeating myself. Dallas did the same thing to him last year. Watch this, they have him. Just doesn't wrap up. You're reaching, you're off balance, another missed tackle there. And it's gonna be short of the first down, Bob, because of that tackle for loss, but they're in a good situation on 3rd and short.
The only game Todd didn't do much was against Wyoming Valley West, District 2 5A champs. 6 carries, just 4 yards. Clock was rolling down. Cyril Cinti calls timeout. So it's a Mooyah Burger timeout here at John Hens's Veterans Memorial Stadium. Good game so far on a cold, chilly night. Some of the brave fans have made their way up here to Peckville. But as you might expect, I'm sure many joining us tonight in their houses, sipping some cocoa. There is George Hawanitz, the head coach of Valley View, his 11th season here, 64 and 57. Here's what the Cougars faced through the year. We saw them against Lakeland put a pounding on the Chiefs. Couple losses in there. They're playing their best ball at the end of the season. 5 wins in a row.
Yeah, brutal schedule up early. So they got Scranton when Scranton was hot. Lost that one by 7. Lost to DV, the best team in the district, only by 4. A game that they actually went ahead 2 scores in that game, and a costly penalty negated the touchdown, and Delaware Valley rallied to win the game. And then the Scranton Prep game, they were up late in that game as well, and a late touchdown by the Cavaliers. So 2 unbeaten teams they took to the brink. This is a very good Valley View team, and they've kind of learned here at the end of the season to win some closer games. That North Pocono game was a big win for them in overtime.
That Cougar and against Scranton Prep, against the Cavaliers, probably one of the better games I've seen all season. Very, very hard hitting on a Saturday afternoon. So on 3rd down, I would suspect Todd, and Nasir Smith not being faked out. Can he get the corner? It's going to be on the mark.
He's short, Bob. They marked him out at the 31. They said he stepped out there, so decision time for Cyril Cinti. He might have lost a yard.
Yeah, I think he did.
Maybe 2 on the play. That's a nice job by Nasir Smith. Again, they got a tackle. He's got him dead to rights. Kind of pushed him back, but see, they can't grab, Bob. You can't grab Vincent Todd. He's going to escape. You got to go forward and tackle. And Valley View's not doing that here in the first quarter. It looks like they're almost intimidated by his speed.
So Horan is on for a punt. He averages around 39 yards. Boy, way high snap, almost blocked. He gets it out of there somehow, and it's taken by Combs. Combs on the move inside to Coughlin territory. They'll have the ball at the 45.
Boy, Coughlin dodged a bullet there. They're lucky Valley View wasn't coming after the kick. Nasir Smith blocked the kick last week for the second Valley View touchdown. This is a nice job by Combs, too. Field it on the run, don't let it bounce. Ends up with about a 15-yard return. So Valley View going to start with good field position, trailing by 1 point in this game.
So come back out in the I formation. 2 tight end set. Back to Vernon. Hole, weaves through. Just like that, he's got 13, maybe 14 yards.
Got to throw a shout out to this offensive line for Valley View. John Schnippes, E.J. Alco, Connor Judge, Mike Sebastianelli, and Brian Durkin. They've opened up holes for these backs all season. And Vernon's not going to get all the carries tonight, Bob. But we're going to see a mixture in there a little bit later on in the game. He's definitely the playmaker, the senior, the experience. But you're also going to see Cordish in there, as well as Boone, and even Jones.
Looks like 9 or 10 guys in the box, but Vernon somehow weaving through, still on his feet. Caught and tackled just inside the 20 to the 18. Big gain.
You know, we did Valley View in the opener this year against Lakeland. I'm just going to comment, Vernon has done better after contact since the beginning of the year. You see, he used his arms, Bob, to kind of push the would-be tackler away, got back to the outside, gained a couple extra yards. He's not going down necessarily on first contact like maybe you saw at the beginning of the season. He really has improved as the senior season has developed.
Cougars inside the Coughlin red zone. Back to Vernon, but Young is there to get the first hit on him. They'll give him a yard.
Better job that time by the defense of Coughlin, kind of getting him in the backfield.
Toyota key to the game for Valley View, and it seems simple, but you have to score inside the red zone.
Yeah, they do have a good kicking game if they need it, but even though that first extra point didn't go their way, but yeah, you got to score touchdowns in the playoffs. You can't settle for field goals. And Valley View, I'll tell you what, they've been a good third down team this year, Bob, and for the most part, they've been pretty good in the red zone as well.
Back to number 28, he's got a big hole. Racing to the end zone, making it look easy, Seth Vernon for a Valley View touchdown.
Great job by E.J. Alco pulling the left guard into the hole. And, you know, Vernon's going to go in the paper this morning. He's going to have that touchdown, but that was the offensive line there. They opened up a gaping hole led by Alco. Great job by the Cougars on this drive after they get the good field position and they get the lead back.
4 plays, 46 yards. Valley View takes back the lead. They'll go for the extra point. Cesarinian. Or 2-point conversion. Little flip into the end zone. Goes incomplete. So Valley View trying to use a trick play to get 2 points. It goes incomplete. And the lead is just 5 now with 2:31 remaining in the first quarter.
The club at the Highlands is now booking holiday parties and weddings. Join us for their amazing Thanksgiving buffet and every Sunday for their football specials. Call or check them out on Facebook. It's the club at the Highlands.
So a couple of other games going on here in the first quarter. At the end of one, Lake Lehman leads Scranton Prep 7-3. Chris, that's a surprising score.
Yeah, they played in the regular season and it wasn't even a game. It was over by halftime. So, you know, they had a dramatic win last week, the Black Knights, and up ahead trying to pull the upset. That's why they play the games, Bob.
That is just how about the 2A championship. Dunmore leading Carbondale 7-0. In the 6A championship, Hazelton and Delaware Valley scoreless. And congratulations to Wyoming Valley West last night, beating Wallenpaupack for the 5A title.
Yeah, that was a game where it was 7-0 Wallenpaupack. You're like, oh boy, here we go again. Because remember, they beat the Spartans in the first game and had 35 unanswered points. Great job by Rob Dwyer, the quarterback, who had 3 touchdowns and threw for another.
Good kick. This is McCoy from his 11. He's got good speed as well. Picks up a block. Up past the 30 to the 32.
Well, you know,
Aaron did get out of the truck, and she's all bolted up, Aaron, but getting some ice cream? What?
First and 10, Coughlin from the 32.
Well, it's about 20 degrees, and you know the wind chill maybe feels around 10, 12. Got my hand warmers, but you know what feels really good right about now? You know what would be really good? Maybe some ice cream. That's what they got rocking over here, Bob, at Valley View, at Scoops and Elephant. They're here every home game. Let's go check it out and see what they have. It's good? He says it's good. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Kiara.
So tell me about your ice cream truck. Are you getting any people coming in for some treats tonight?
Yeah, even though it's still really cold, people still seem to be coming to enjoy the ice cream.
And how about you guys? How you doing in there?
We're okay. We have our little heater back here, so trying to stay warm.
All right, don't melt the ice cream.
We'll try not to.
Bob, I don't know, maybe some itty bits or a chocolate shake. What do you think? I can bring some stuff up there for you.
Hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. I think that's what you need, Aaron. Ice cream on a cold night. A little bit of a line over there. So after a 3-yard loss, Coughlin has the ball back. First pass of the night looking Todd. Didn't find anybody. Up past the 30.
And that's what they're going to do with Todd on passing plays, Bob. They roll him out because if nothing's there, you have that secondary play basically where he can run the football. Trayon Jones was there. He read it perfectly, but again, didn't wrap up. Shows the lower body strength of Todd. Nice job here, though, by I think it was Pitzman there, who actually just kind of stayed squared up, Bob. Got him to commit. Got him to the sidelines where he gave him a little push out of bounds. That was a better job by the Cougars, but this sets up the Crusaders now 3rd and long.
Spot Coughlin does not want to be in tonight. Come out the eye. Eight guys in the box. No one open for Todd. Pulls it down, and he's going to be short of the first down. They're going to mark him at the 39. Here comes the punt team.
That was a better job by Valley View on this possession of kind of getting Todd into a position where they really could make plays on. Yeah, he escaped here, but look at, again, Sam Pitzman got a piece of him and knocked him down. That's enough. That's all you need. You know, it wasn't the perfect tackle that time, but Pitzman's a pretty good defensive player, strong, and he was able to bring him down with one arm, which is very hard to do.
Sometimes we may see Wardle at quarterback, and they put Todd out as receiver. We'll see how that plays out. Another high snap. Rand gets it away. This time a fair catch for Valley View at the 33-yard line. Under a minute to play, Chris, and pretty much what we expected. A late flag comes in. Looks like an unsportsmanlike, maybe.
Yeah, I think they're going to get McCoy. He was having words with one of the Cougars down where the punt was, and he threw a little arm at him. Wouldn't call it a punch, but shoving to the head. And you know, I don't know if the Valley View guy did something first. I kind of caught it late, but you know what they say, Bob. They always catch the second guy, maybe he was the first guy. They're talking it over now, so I don't know, maybe it'll be offsetting. It was after the play was over, so it's a dead ball. Well, they did call it both ways, so.
Yeah. George Hawanitz wants an explanation.
Again, something might have happened. I only caught the play at the end where the Coughlin player threw his arm up and shoved the Valley View player, but again, referee's trying to keep it calm and keep it clean.
So, Cougars have it. Their own 33 this possession, up by 5. Vernon shoots out to the right side. Gets the corner. Knocked out of bounds on a big gain up to the 32. We do have a flag down.
Yeah, downfield though, around the 45, so it's a downfield hold on the Cougars. So they'll bring it back. It might be still first down yardage after the penalty. Let's see if we can see right there. Didn't see who the Cougar was. It was Saeed Hollis, the defender. Looked like one of the Cougars got him and grabbed that jersey, Bob. You can't grab it on the outside. Why? The referee can see it.
Yeah.
You grab it on the inside, you can get away with it a lot of the times, and that's what happened there. They are going to move the chains, though, so it is a Valley View first down, but it does negate a run into Coughlin territory by Vernon.
So it is a first down. Let's see if they go right back to Vernon again. Well, this time they got Cordish in the backfield. They give it to him. Big push from that offensive line. 8 yards for Cordish, but again, give that offensive line a lot of credit.
I love what Mason Cordish brings to the table for Valley View. He's very different than Vernon. He's more of a like a grinder. He'll be tough. He'll give hits. He's not very big. Very good wrestler. He's a legacy here at Valley View. His dad played here, passed away at a very young age. He reminds me a lot of his dad when he ran here for the Cougars.
So a very entertaining first quarter is in the book, and it's the Cougars who lead the Crusaders 12-7. Fumble on the field as we begin the second quarter. Fuller falls on it at the 50-yard line.
After tonight's game, flip over to Fox 56.
So we'll take a look at the play first, Chris. And saw Fuller pull out underneath center a little too quick. Kind of like you reading that. A little too quick. Just wait. So third down on the field, 4 yards. Chance for Coughlin's defense to stand the ground. Cordish has the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 35.
Again, you saw first contact there on Cordish, Bob, and obviously he runs very good north and south. He gets the end, good block there by Rosina. Finally pushed out of downs by Todd. Nice job by Cordish, making sure he knew where the first down marker was, lowering that head, and just making sure he went forward, not east and west. You'll see a lot of guys try to dance there, Bob, to try to get the extra yard. Just keep going towards your goal line. That's what you want to do. That's what the good runners do.
Ball is at the 42. Cougars, again, inside Crusader territory. Trying to extend their lead. Cordish with a bounce.
Nice job again by the offensive line, Valley View. Probably going to be saying that a lot tonight. I think we've said it a lot already, Bob, but it's just evident that they're winning the battle up front. And Vernon and now Cordish, as you saw, a very good kick-out block there. I think that was Sebastianelli, Mike Sebastianelli, the junior for Valley View, kicking out. And the Cougars do a very good job when they pull players. If you notice that, they're getting very solid blocks. They can tell they're very well coached from that aspect. And good first down gain for Valley View.
Cordish weaving his way up towards where the first down marker is. I think he might have it on the mark. And not to make... And the Cougars are proving this right now, one of their keys to the game, be more physical.
Yeah, and I think they lacked that a little bit in that first drive, Bob. I think, again, they were kind of caught back on their heels, and I think that's exactly what Coach Hawans is talking about. A kid like Todd, he's tough, but you got to hit him. You got to be physical with him and not just try to reach out and pull him down. It's not going to work. He's too good. But we're seeing that a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. We're definitely seeing them be physical on the offensive side of the ball, especially up front.
A lot of guys going both ways for a limited roster for Coughlin, just about 32 on the field. They've brought here tonight. Cordish weaving through again up near the 26. He's brought down after a 6-yard gain.
And this is why Valley View could have a lot of success down the road. Yeah, Vernon hasn't been out on this drive, so he's getting a rest now. Cordish has fresh legs. You see him exploding. They can bring Janasa Boone in and put him at tailback. They can bring Trayon Jones in and put him at tailback. They always could have fresh legs back there. And Bob, you just mentioned the depth of Coughlin. They don't have a lot. You know, you get tired, especially when you're playing both ways. And that's one reason Valley View has an advantage offensively.
How about the fullback Pittsman in the open? Inside the 10, first and goal, Valley View. Pittsman for 19.
Valley View loves that play. Again, Pittsman, the only back in the backfield. They trapped, again, right up the middle. Great run by Pittsman. Great blocking by the Cougars once again. And Valley View has done this a lot here in the second half of the season. I love calling it running downhill, Bob. And you're seeing that here tonight in this game as well. Coughlin's got to find an answer to stop this Valley View running game.
Cordish back in. Knocked down by number 43, Eric Savan, the senior.
I want to go back to what we said about Valley View with the red zone, Bob, because although they've been fairly successful in the red zone, they have turned it over in the red zone several times this season as well in key situations. So I think that's more what Coach Iwanitz would like to see, because again, they can kick field goals. They have a very good kicker, very good kicking game, because they actually have 2 kickers, but now they want to punch this in.
Great tackle on the outside by Patrick Strauss, the senior. 3rd and goal.
Great job by Strauss. He saved a touchdown there. Great form tackle. It was just him and Cordish, and Strauss won that battle for Coughlin. They needed that badly. Still going to be a tough stop here, but Coughlin's going to need 2 more. Keep the Cougars out of the end zone.
No problem for Cordish with the offensive line push. Touchdown, Valley View. 18-7 now. So we have the extra point.
Again, good blocking up front by the Cougars. Nice enough, big enough hole there for Valley View, and good block also by Dom Lupini, who got into the hole.
Good snap this time, and it is through. So the extra point is good, and Valley View ups their lead now, 19-7. We'll be right back.
You're watching Wendy's Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
So a squib kick, it's picked up Strauss. Coughlin down, 12 points now. Need to get some points on this possession, or at least keep their offense on the field. They'll start it right near the 20-yard line, but it's called to 23, so some Pasquale's Pizza impact players need to step up.
Jake Cole, again, we mentioned him earlier, Bob. Great player, great football player. Even since his sophomore year, I think he's been one of the best defensive linebackers in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Jerome Young, just a junior. He's got some future written on his football career, I believe. And Eric Sovan also makes some very good plays on the defensive side of the ball. So this is a very good Coughlin crew. They got some younger players, too. Obviously, we talk about Todd a lot, deservedly so, but they've got good support for him as well. He's not doing it by himself.
Let's go back to the Cougars for 1 second. I think they're going to take a look at the clock. 4 possessions in the game, 3 touchdowns. That last drive, 77 yards, 11 plays. Took almost 5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Coughlin's not going to get a lot of stops tonight. They're going to have to answer with their offense. That's where their strength is. So this is an important drive here. You're down 2 scores for the first time tonight. See if Vincent Todd can make some magic here along with Cole. I'd like to see him go back to Cole a little bit on this drive as well.
And they do. But Walensky's there from his defensive end position. Maybe a yard.
Great job by Kyle Swalinsky. Outstanding hustle. He gets blocked, pushes off the block. You see the knee brace on his knee, Bob. He's had that knee prop for several seasons now, but it doesn't really stop his drive. He's still going 100% all the time. That was a great play by Swalinsky, and then he got some help from his teammates. And I do like the fact they went back to Cole. I think he needs to be a part of this offense. It can't just be Todd every play. Valley View will sniff it out. You got to keep him a little balanced here.
Maybe a screen pass or 2 as well. 8 in the box. The reverse. Vaughn with the block. Nice run by McCoy, I believe. It is McCoy. He just got tripped up, but he might have broken it himself.
Yeah, here, that's the future right there. Raphael McCoy, only a sophomore. They like getting the ball while he's moving. And that time you see him get to the outside, got a good block on the outside, and he gets first down yardage. So that's good, though, by Coughlin. They need to get other people involved. So then when Todd does get the ball, the Valley View's thinking, who else might get it on this play?
And that's what they did on their drive that they scored.
Correct.
They mixed it up, and then Todd took over. A lot of movement up front, no flag. Cole for about 4, maybe 3. It's another Toyota key to the game. Cyril Cinti said, got to get the momentum back.
Yeah, you have a big win last week against Dallas. You're flying high. How do you keep that? How do you keep that momentum? I mean, you're due for a letdown. I think Coughlin came out pretty good tonight to start, but now they're just getting themselves a little bit of a hole. So actually on this drive, they need to get their momentum back.
Yeah, trips come out to the left-hand side. They have some room out there if you can get the ball out quickly. Not every guy's covered. They get it to Cole. He puts his head down, going to be short of a first down by about 2 yards. But that time, as you saw, not everybody was covered by the Cougars.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Awanis is upset. He runs the defense for Valley View, and I'm not sure whose responsibility it was, but he's definitely letting them know about it. As Cole was wide open in the flat. Good tackle by Cordish to make sure he doesn't get the first down, but 3rd and 1 here for the Crusaders. Cyril Cinti will take that all night long if he can get 3rd and 1s.
Coughlin comes in averaging 21 points per game. About 250 total yards. Todd to the outside trying to get a block, but a great defensive play on the outside. Tripping him up was Chase Combs.
That's how you tackle Vincent Todd. You don't wait for him to make the move. You go like a torpedo. Watch Combs right here. Boom, that's how you do it. That's the way you stop him. I think Todd was even a little surprised there, Bob, because too many people try to wait, balance up. Great tackle by Combs, and he stops the first down, the punt unit back out.
Second tackle for a loss, and it's a big one for Combs. Ran in for another punt try, and all night long they've been doing that high snap. Takes a Coughlin bounce. Sooner or later, that high snap's going to catch up to you. Every punt has been high.
Yeah, Valley View's going to figure that out,
yeah.
Bob. So Coughlin's going to have to now the punter did a good job there because the pressure came from his left, and he kind of directionally went to his right. Otherwise, Valley View might have gotten a hand on that. But you're right, that could come back and haunt the Crusaders. Don't know if that's been an issue all year for them. I didn't notice it, to be honest with you, in the film, but it's been a problem tonight. And Valley View is eventually going to send something different, and that could be trouble for the Crusaders.
Coughlin will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. They need to stop here, though, against the Cougars to keep it close. Fuller in the shotgun. Back to Vernon with a hole. Seth Vernon off to the races. Dragged down at the 35-yard line.
What did you see the last drive, Bob? Mason Cordish, Mason Cordish, Mason Cordish, right? Now they go back to Vernon. Totally different gear. And you see him, again, he gets to the hole, actually tripped up around the 35-yard line, but somehow he gets his momentum back, gets his balance. That's a great run by Vernon. He probably should have been down on the play, but the balance that he ran with was outstanding, and that's a huge play for the Cougars.
45 more yards for Seth Vernon.
And we get somebody jumping on that Cougar offensive line. I think is that the first penalty on Valley View?
I believe it is. No, the offsides on the kick. So about the second.
Coughlin, I think, has only been penalized once as well.
And they're offset, and that offsetting too, on the unsportsmanlike.
Pretty clean game so far.
Yep.
Coughlin's desperate for a stop here, and again, Valley View just kind of wears you down too, Bob. That's another problem. I mean, they're in good condition up front.
Back to the ground. Vernon following his blocking. Up inside the 35 to the 33. 7 yards for him.
And that's where he's had to improve his game in between the tackles, and I think he has. I mean, it's easy to kind of just pitch it to them and let them get to the outside every time, Bob. But eventually teams figure out a way to contain that. So you have to keep the defense honest. That's a nice 7-yard gain by Vernon between the tackles.
Vernon knocked out, hit by Vaughn inside the 25, and they're going to mark it at the 23, move the chains.
Here it comes right at you, and again, gets enough of the edge. Nice little jump step, just lets the defender go past him and pushed out of bounds, but too late, as Vernon already had first down yardage.
What I've noticed is Coughlin is unable to get in on the defense behind the line of scrimmage. Everything's being tackled at or near or past the line of scrimmage. Inside the Pittsman. Pittsman following through. Good mix-up on him. Just like that, he's got about 6.
And again, Valley View right now just running at will. I mean, Coughlin doesn't have an answer. And you say, why, you know, Coach Kawans can tell you all he wants. He wants to be more balanced. But when you run the football like this, there's no reason to throw it. They'll get into situations, again, to keep the defense honest, and if they need a big play in the passing game, Chandler Fuller's capable. But right now, your offensive line is dominating this game. You keep it on the ground.
Right to the fullback. And nice job on the inside. The Canada.
That's a great defensive
or
play.
Delitus.
Yeah. Number 27 for Coughlin. That's DeCinti, actually.
Okay.
Got there first, and they plugged the hole this time. I think Chandler Fuller called an audible that time, Bob, and Pittsman didn't have much room to go. That's the best job Coughlin has done here since that first stop drive where they got to stop. And still 3rd and short for Valley View, and Cougars will try to move the chains one more time here.
He's just past the first down marker, is Vernon, to about the 12-yard line. They'll move the chains.
You know, that's unfortunate for the Crusaders defense. They make a good play again, Bob, for only about a 2-yard gain. The problem was Vernon only needed 1.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get those plays on first down, and Valley View is going to take a timeout here with 1:13 remaining and kind of give their guys a breather here as they try to punch it in one more time before half.
Muya Burger timeout on the field, called by the Cougars with 1:13 remaining.
At Cam Graphics, their customers are number one. They work with you through the entire process from design all the way to final approval. They offer school spirit apparel, screen printing, and embroidery work. From 1 piece to 1,000 pieces, no order is too small. Call Cam Graphics or check them out on Facebook for ideas and prices. Get 10% off your next order when you use the code VV.
In the other District 2 4A semifinal, Chris, second quarter, maybe into the second quarter, 28-0 Berwick over North Pocono. Prep has surged over Lake Lehman at halftime in the 3A final, 24-7. And in the 2A final, Dunmore beating Carbondale 14-0. 6A final, Delaware Valley 7, Hazelton 3. And the other game tonight in single A is actually a state regional. Old Forge beating Delaware County Christian 21-0.
It's a state playoff game. That's what I call it. 2 district champions playing. It's a state.
Yeah, we didn't know what to call it. For all the fumble. And if Coughlin's got it. You talked about the break. They need it, Chris, and they got it. Number 27, we just talked about him. The senior Tyler DeCinti comes up with a big turnover.
And this is bit Valley View in the past. You know, Vernon just doesn't catch the football. And DeCinti right there to jump on it. And again, Valley View in the red zone. They usually score, Bob, but when they don't, it's because they turn the ball over. That's a huge stop for the Coughlin Crusaders. And they have a chance here, at least the worst case scenario, unless they do something bad here, they'll go down only 2 scores at halftime.
Yep, just keep it close now. You'll get the ball to begin the third quarter. Big break for Coughlin. And with Todd back there, if he breaks one big here, they'll start calling their timeouts. 2 timeouts left per team. Oh, make that 1 for Coughlin. They used 1 right there. No time off the clock.
Interesting that they use it coming off the dead ball.
Yeah, that's not really where you want to use it. Oh,
But Coach Cinti or Coach Michaels saw something. Ed Michaels, the offensive coordinator. So they thought it'd be wise to use that timeout.
5th meeting between these 2 teams. Valley View's won all 5, including last year in the quarterfinals.
They had to come back to do it, though. They were down in the 4th quarter, 13-12. Drove down and got the winning score, and then actually had to get a stop. They had an interception. Actually, Kyle Swerlinski tipped the ball, and one of the Cougars intercepted it, and that ended the game right there.
The difference in both teams, Coughlin, I think, lost a lot from the linemen up front, where Valley View comes back. Most of the team intact.
Definitely had a lot of experienced players come back. They lost a lot of skill players from last year. That was the big question mark for George Juan. Could these younger players step up? They did win the freshman championship last year, so they've done very well here in their first year playing varsity football.
Todd somehow up to the 19, gain of 4.
Just a great job. Again, Trayon Jones is in there. He's there to make the play, but Todd says no way. Nice little stiff arm there and a little kick out block by one of the Crusaders, but Pitzman goes low on him, and see Todd limping a little bit now. Back to the huddle. Pitzman got his legs that time, and nice job by Sam Pitzman to make the tackle. But Coughlin, I think, might run 1 more play here, Bob, and Valley View could still stop the clock too, with the punt situation.
Gonna hang one up downfield, see what happens, and Boone was the closest receiver for Valley View.
Yeah, that was, they're trying to get an isolated receiver downfield one-on-one, but he had safety help as well. That was McCoy. Safety help back there. If anybody was gonna catch it, it was gonna be Boone. And that could have spelled trouble for Coughlin.
Clock stops.
Yeah.
Valley View 2 timeouts. If I'm George Juan, after this play, I'm calling timeout. I'm going to rush that punter.
No doubt about it. You have nothing to lose, really. Even if you rough the punter, it's a 15-yard penalty. There's probably no time left on the clock anyway by that time. I mean,
kind of surprised at the play call. I know what they're trying to do if you're Coughlin. Try to just make some magic happen. Couldn't that time.
oh, there it is. Oh,
Young
boy.
fumbles, and it goes out of bounds.
Break for Coughlin there. That was a great play by Cordish. Watch the way, if we see the replay here, Bob, watch the way Mason Cordish attacks the football. That's what you're taught to do. You wrap up, but if you can get an elbow in there, and it strips the ball right out of there. Nice job. Young's got to do a better job with controlling the football there, but now Coughlin will have to punt.
That was Young's first carry of the season. So
Might be his last.
It might be, yeah. So on 4th down, let's see if Valley View wants to come after Horan. Watch for this snap. It's been high all night long. Oh, that one's better. It's low.
They got a chance here, and they're
Horan.
going to get the ball.
7 seconds left. 1st and goal. Valley View from the 2.
And they got the 2 timeouts left too, Bob. So the punt team has been a disaster here for Coughlin, and now it finally bites them, like we said. Nazir Smith gets in there, and nothing the punter could do about it. He just had to get on top of the ball. Valley View will get 2 plays here. As long as they don't dance around or do it, they're going to get 2 plays at least because of those timeouts. And just when it looked like Coughlin dodged the bullet's not dodged
And
anymore.
it goes back to that 2nd down call on the pass, the long pass. You stop the clock on the incomplete pass.
And Coughlin's going to use one of their timeouts and make sure they have their defense set. Again, the only thing if you're Valley View here is you can't, if you're going to run the football, you can't be dancing around. You got to go north and south, try to find a hole, block it up front, and you get 2 opportunities out. So Coach Awans will have to be right near the referee and say, listen, as soon as this ball's dead, I want a timeout if they don't get it into the end zone.
Last week, Coughlin had a lot of that magic, especially with Todd, and a snap that went awry, and he ended up going 60-some yards. Tonight, just hasn't been there that way.
Yeah, maybe if Todd was the punter, they would have had a better chance there.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm saying that sarcastically, of course, but, you know, again, the punter was not the punter's fault.
No.
I mean, there's nothing he could do with it. But, again, that's a break for Valley View, and especially where they get the ball.
Yeah, it looks just outside the 2, closer to the 3. 7 seconds left. 2 timeouts remaining for Valley View. Coach Owanitz.
Yeah, I would definitely call that the 3. So they need 3 yards here for the touchdown. I'll tell you what, I would just go behind that big offensive line. Surprised they don't have Cordish in the game. He's a little more of a power runner. Let's see if they give it to Vernon.
They're going to go to the air. Touchdown to Boone. Valley View.
Love the play call. Love the play call. Coughlin selling out for the run. Boone, who was lined up on the, I believe he was on the wing. And he just runs into the flat, wide open. Chandler Fuller, great play fake by Fuller, by the way. And he throws a touchdown pass, and boy, is that a tough one for Coughlin to swallow.
2 seconds left, 1 play, 3 yards. And for the extra point is Cesarini, and this one is good. And late in the half, Valley View extends their lead 25-7 on a muff punt and a conversion. And the band came tonight all bundled up, and they're happy about what they're seeing here in Peckville. Here's that touchdown.
Yeah, they had Boone lined up on the right side, and all he does is run in the flat. You can see behind him, Smith, that's his brother, right there as well. Chandler Fuller picked the right one, though. He picked the one that's closer to you. And a well-executed play by the Cougars. Again, we haven't really they haven't thrown the ball much today. What's that, their second pass attempt, maybe?
Yeah.
And it was at the right time. Coughlin, nothing they could do.
So Coughlin had the chance after the fumble from Vernon. Went 3 and out. Had the punt go awry as the snap was bad.
Yeah, you feel for that Coughlin defense. They get the stop they need. The offense can't get enough, or at least run enough clock or move the chains once, and then the special teams bite the Crusaders.
Squib kick. Guys just standing around, I'm not sure why. You got to run out the clock, and the clock does hit 0, and the Cougars are going to go into the locker room with the lead. Aaron Dugan trying to catch up with Coach Owanitz. I'm sure he's going to be happy about what he saw on the offensive side. And Aaron, let's go down to you now.
Well, Coach, you got to be happy about getting that touchdown after having that turnover.
Yeah, I thought Mason Cordish made a great play and just punched the ball out, and it rolled backwards, which was big for us because I think it would have been a first down. So, and then to get 7 points off of that, you know, it's a big deal going into halftime.
You know that Coughlin obviously has some offensive weapons, so what do you have to do to make sure that they don't sneak back in?
Well, we got to tackle number 2. He's like tackling a ghost sometimes. So, you know, we'll work on that a little bit at halftime, talk to our kids about some adjustments, and hopefully we can keep the score up the way it is now.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
So a 19-point lead for Valley View as we're at the half. Coming up at the half, we'll check in on the Fox 56 News first at 10. Aaron will give us a little preview of tomorrow's Mayor's Cup game in Wilkes-Barre, and then Chris and I will be back with some stats and highlights. Cougars over the Crusaders in the District 2 4A semifinal.
You're watching Wendy's Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to John Hensas Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Peckville for our Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. Valley View 26, Coughlin 7 at halftime of the District 2 Quad A semifinal. Hi everyone, I'm Aaron Dugan, joined tonight by Bob Ide and Chris Kaharski upstairs. It's a chilly night. As you can see my breath. It's about 20 degrees here in Peckville, but we're having a good time. And as soon as the crew here tonight gets all warm and toasty, it's time to wake up because we got another game tomorrow. It's the Mayor's Cup game. It's always a good one. And it's, of course, Wilkes University versus King's College. And it's a great crosstown rivalry. always good games. Let's take a look actually at the last 5 times these two teams played. Last year, Kings won big, 42-14. The year before that, Wilkes won 24-17. 2014, Kings took it 27-21. They also won the year prior, 35-28. And in 2012, Wilkes won 44-32. So you can see, with the exception of last year, they're always close games. We always have good games when we bring you the Mayor's Cup. And Wilkes does lead overall 21-9. That's since 1946 they've been playing. So this goes back a long time. And as I said, always a good game. Our own Bob Ide got a chance to catch up with both head coaches during the week. Let's hear what they had to say.
It's been the quarterback shuffle for Wilkes. One starter, Jose Tabora, went down for the season. 3 freshmen have taken snaps, all with huge upsides.
Unfortunately, you have 3 guys at that position that are young. They're 18 years old. They just got here on August 11th. They're all going to be really good players, but they probably were thrown into the fire a little bit sooner than you'd hope to have to do that to them.
And because of that, the Colonels' offense has struggled this season to score points, while the defense has been on the field much more than a coach would want.
Defensively, we're playing much better team defense. And I know we went to FDU a couple weeks ago. They scored some points on us, but we just got into a couple matchups where we didn't make some plays. The way they've developed and come together, I think they've done a great job, and I think they've really leaned on each other well. So I'm pleased on that side of things, and I'm having fun coaching this team. I want to make that comment as well. I mean, there's some years where you're struggling in the win-loss column, and you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, when's it going to be over? I'm having a blast coaching these guys. I really, really enjoy it. I want them to feel some sense of reward on a Saturday for all the hard work they're putting in.
We've been giving up a lot of points a little bit throughout the year, and holding an offense like Albright to under what we have been, was a good thing. We've been playing tough, we've been hitting well, and one thing that we got going for us is a lot of the young guys. We've been starting to get some of the young guys in. They're starting to really learn their plays and get familiar with the offense and the defense, so it gives them a bright future for what they can do here at Wilkes.
Across town at Kings, the Monarchs are poised to end the season at 500. Their offense is ranked 2nd in the MAC, with quarterback Zach Whitehead and wideout Tyler Maroney leading the way.
With the new, offense where you kind of spread it around, Whitehead did a really good job when he took over. Is that he was go through the progressions. I mean, he's always, he knows, the value of a quarterback, and you got to put more time in. So he understands their offense to distribute the football. But Maroney, he's a very talented, athletic wide receiver that can play. That's learned to play all our spots and is virtually, uncoverable. And he can, make the tough catches, get behind people. So he's, had a really nice career for us. And then Zach, has done a good job, in this offense that's, pass first, distributing the football, making, good decisions, learning from his mistakes. And then, the biggest thing that's helped him is his feet. I mean, we always knew he's athletic, but he's really done a lot of damage, running the football, as well as throwing it.
Defensively, this will be the last game for Old Forge's Jake Minetti. A 4-year starter, the linebacker is happy to see locals staying close to home to play college football.
Obviously, a goal for any school that has a football area with rich history. They want to keep local guys going to local schools, and Kings has started doing that here. Playing with a couple Old Forge guys, Salavanti and Horn have been contributing great contributors on our defense, as well as myself, and Maxwell from Pittston area, and Curry from Berwick, couple Berwick guys on the team, and it's good to establish that foundation with these high schools, and hopefully to keep drawing the talent out of the high school level to keep coming to your school like this.
Last year, Kings came here to Schmidt Stadium and beat Wilkes. 2 seasons ago, the Colonels went across town and beat the Monarchs. Can recent history repeat itself this year?
Yeah, I think so, no doubt. I mean, this league is challenging, but I think it's still a game about tackling and running and jumping and throwing and all those things. And if you can play the game at a high level of intensity, do great things fundamentally, take advantage of opportunities, I think you can have a shot.
I'm excited to play against them again. The Mayor's Cup is a big game for us. It's a big game for them. A crosstown rival, it's a lot of fun, so we'll see what happens.
Bob Ide, Fox 56 Sports.
All right, thank you so much for that, Bob. Looking forward to a great game tomorrow at McCarthy Stadium. And once again, that's at noon right here on MyTV WQMY. Make sure to stay with us. Bob Ide and Chris Kaharski give us some stats and highlights from the first half when we come right back. You're watching Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY. Stay with us.
Back now at John Hens's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville. The District 2 4A semifinal. Valley View leads by 19 over Coughlin. Welcome into a warm booth. It's warmer than outside, no doubt. Bob Ide and Chris Kaharski enjoying this game. And it was close early on. Chris, Coughlin had some chances, but then ever since then, Valley View really has pounded it in.
Yeah, Coughlin had a lead in this game with the extra point 7-6, but they have not been able to stop the Cougars, except for the turnover, which ended up not helping them anyway because of the late blunder on the punt team. And, again, Valley View is dominating up front, Bob. They're running the football at will. Vincent Todd has made some plays, but not enough to compensate for the Coughlin defense, which just has no answer for Valley View in the first half.
Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. Valley View took the opening drive down the field, and Chandler Fuller, the quarterback, takes it in for a 23-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I think this might be Fuller's only carry of the game, Bob, and he'll have 10 carries a game, but they haven't needed him because Vernon and Cordish have done the workload. And here you see Todd break a tackle there. Again, that was the only touchdown for Coughlin in that first half. It was a great drive by the Crusaders, but since then they haven't been able to put together. There's Seth Vernon. What a big first half he had. Again, you see that breakaway speed, but he's running between the tackles very hard as well. Vernon, a sprinter, Todd a sprinter, lots of speed. And here you see Cordish with his touchdown run. He gave them a nice change of pace in that one drive where he kind of carried the ball down the field. So, again, Valley View just very balanced. And this was a beautiful play. Janasa Boone in the end zone, wide open. Fuller just delivers a strike. And, again, Valley View gets the late touchdown after the bad snap on the punt. Would have been a 19-7 game, Bob. 26-7 does not look good for Coughlin.
So it's 26-7, 20 unanswered for Valley View. And if we take time now to check out the scores from around the area in the third quarter, Delaware Valley has surged over Hazleton area 17-3. That's a 6A final. Last night was the 5A game. We talked about that. Valley West, congratulations to them. Now, what do you think, Chris?
Well, we're looking Berwick Valley View.
Yeah,
unless
we
Coughlin
are.
can make a comeback here because North Pocono just getting it handed to them. Berwick scored on all 7 of their first half possessions, Bob.
Unbelievable.
Bulldogs are playing very well right now.
3A final going on. Scranton Prep surging ahead after Lake Lehman had the early lead. That's at the half. In the 2A, Dunmore all over Carbondale, 28-0. So, as Chris mentioned, the other 4A semifinal, Valley View taking care of North Pocono.
One score we didn't show there, Bob, is Old Forge is down playing Delaware County Christian. They're up big at half, 27-0.
Opening kick taken by Valley View McCoy, and they're keeping it away to Vincent Todd.
How many kick returns has Todd had today?
None.
None. I would do the same exact thing. So give credit to the Valley View kicking game. They're not letting Todd. If McCoy breaks one, so be it, right? Don't let Todd beat you.
Aaron had a chance to talk to Coach Cyril Sinti. And Aaron, I know his team's down, but what did he say?
Well, Bob, he kept it short and sweet. He gave me 3 keys to getting back in the second half. Number 1, stop the turnovers and stupid mistakes. Number 2, stop the mental mistakes. Number 3, they need urgency. They don't have a lot of time with a good team like this.
Trying to sneak one in. And that was Sovan, the senior.
They try a little bit of a different look there. Sovan his first carry, and they're going to give him a penalty marker. I think one of the Valley View players threw Sovan down after the play. Actually, Valley View's pointing the other way. Personal foul on Valley View.
Oh, I thought they were doing the old double again, which we saw in the first half. So negative yardage on that play. The ball is marked at the 22? Somewhere around there? 21. They're going to mark off the penalty now.
Well, it's going to be from the line of scrimmage,
Yeah.
Bob, because it wasn't a dead ball
Right.
foul, which actually doesn't make much sense. If it was a throw, if he threw him down and the play was still going, it should be part of a, you know, I'm not sure I understand that call. I'm not saying the penalty wasn't the right call. I'm just not I don't understand how it wasn't a dead ball.
We'll give them 15 yards. Ball's up to the 43 for Coughlin, so a break for them. Todd in that first half just 10 carries for 74 yards. Valley View's done a nice job keeping him in check. Looking downfield, doesn't have anybody open. Pulls it in quickly and going to be ridden out of bounds. Loss of about 1 yard, I think, after they marked the ball down.
Actually, they're going to give him, they're going to say he stepped out right at the 40. Well, you're right, Bob. The down marker. Here's the thing what they're doing with Todd, though. They're stretching him out. And he's not able to turn it upfield. And, you know, listen, in this case, the boundary is your friend.
Yep.
Because he's running out of room. We've seen, I think, at least 3 times he's run out of room on the sidelines. And getting 2-3 yards, I think you're right. He did lose a yard on that play where they marked him out. So good job by the Valley View defense on the perimeter.
Todd can throw the ball against Pittston area this year. He was 3 of 5 for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. No one open, though. Try this again. McCoy, we saw that in the first half. Valley View reads it. Another negative play.
Cougars defense is stepping it up. Really 3 negative plays on this drive already. And that one worked in the first half. Cougars sniffed it out this time. And McCoy's got to keep getting to the outside there. You see him kind of cut it back and cut it right to where Swalinski was. Pitzman was right there. Valley View with good pursuit, keeping it inside. That's good team defense by the Cougars.
Third and long for Coughlin. Todd still in at quarterback. Try fake the jet sweep. Smith rides him down. Another negative play for the Cougars.
Well, you can't get much, except for the penalty, you can't get much better at a defensive stand than that. 4 negative plays. And you see Todd just nowhere to go. Everybody's staying home, Bob, and Nazi Smith comes in and kind of cowboys him down. The old rodeo tackle there, but hey, it works. It's one way to stop Todd, so Valley View gets a stop on this first drive. The only first down coming via the penalty.
Hold your breath. Punt team is on. Good snap, good hold. Needed that in the first half. Haran knocks it down, and it takes a Coughlin roll out of bounds. And the Cougars offense comes on at their own 33.
That's one positive for Coughlin. At least the snap was good that time. And again, that was the first good snap they've had all night. You had the 3 high snaps, and then you had the low snap, which cost them 7 points.
So Crusaders, Chris, need to stop Valley View. How do they do that?
Well, it's going to be tough because, again, up front, I think they're a little outmanned. So they're going to have to get some extra effort from that front line. Remember, they're playing a 3-5-3, Bob, so you're blocking 5 offensive linemen on 3 defensive linemen, and you have 2 to go get linebackers who are undersized. So it's going to be tough for Coughlin, but it's going to be about effort.
Well, go right to the air. Fuller looking downfield. He's got Smith wide open. He dropped the ball at the 30, or he was in for a touchdown.
Yeah, Smith coming from the other side of the formation. He scored a touchdown last week from the tight end spot. He was wide open, and Smith just couldn't hang on to a great pass by Fuller. They go with the play action here, and Fuller sees him the whole way, and can't throw up much prettier than that, and Smith just has to bring that one in. So Cougars try to go deep on the first play. Would have worked, but it goes as an incomplete pass.
It is cold out there tonight, as we know. Wind chill in the negative numbers. Back to the ground they go. Coughlin does a nice job on that first carry, 2 yards. So 3rd and long out of the way for the Cougars.
So Valley View now in a 3rd and long situation. They haven't been in too many of these tonight, Bob. They've done a good job on 1st and 2nd downs, 3rd and 1 situation, 3rd and 2. Let's see if Coach Juan sticks with the run, or does he let Fuller go back to the air here on 3rd down.
Fuller's going to line up in the shotgun. Trips to the left, come out. Coughlin makes the adjustment. They're going to roll Fuller to the left. No one really open. Everyone was covered. He throws it out of bounds, and Coughlin holds.
3 of his 4 incompletions and him rolling out and not setting his feet. It's a very simple thing that quarterbacks need to do, but Fuller, he's just got to stop there and set himself. There's no pressure. And again, what happened to all 3 balls, Bob? Over the head of the receiver. So that's something, again, he has had trouble with in the past. At times he corrects it, and guess what? He completes a lot of passes when he does. Good stop by the Crusaders, though, especially that second down run by Vernon.
High snap. Kwilinski going to send it down. No chance for Todd for a return. So they avoid that trap. They'll give Crusaders ball at the 37.
After tonight's game, flip over to Fox 56 and watch Northeast and Central Pennsylvania's #1 10 o'clock news team. Jamie Innes and Ryan Cummings with Chief Meteorologist Mike Linden on the Fox 56 News first at 10. So both teams get defensive stops on their first drive. We saw a lot of offense in that first half. The defenses step up.
Todd's going to roll. Right to, look at Sylvan, the tight end. He was wide open, but I don't think he expected the ball.
Yeah, he tapped his chest right there. My bad. You got to look for the football, though. I mean, that's a good pass by Todd. His tight end's wide open on the crossing pattern. And that's what they like to do. They like the crossing patterns, rolling out Todd to that side, the crossing patterns. And again, if it's not there, he can run the football.
He had a couple of wideouts, too, after they crossed down here near the 50. He had them. He chose to throw to the tight end.
Interesting, Coughlin trying to throw the ball a little bit here. They might need this more here in the second half when you're down 19 points.
Big push, they'll try to get Todd out. Flag comes in, maybe a hold. Good defense out there by Cordish.
Valley View can make a decision here. They can decline the penalty because there was another loss on the play. Actually, it's a hold. So do you take the 10 yards in the down over, or you take the 4-yard loss and make them go to third down? I think that's the right decision, Bob.
Yep.
Decline the penalty, 3rd and long. That's not where Coughlin wants to be. Bob, Coughlin, except for the penalty, has not had a positive play
in a while
in this 3rd quarter.
No.
All runs have been negative yardage and the 1 incomplete pass.
They're going the wrong way. So trips come out to the near side, Todd in the shotgun. See if they roll him that way, they do. Valley View's there. They have him trapped.
Oh boy.
Oh no, Todd's out. Still on his feet, Vincent Todd up to the 50-yard line. A 17-yard gain. It looked like a Houdini act.
That's what he's good at. You get him in situations where he has to ad-lib. This is the first time he's gotten away from the Cougars tonight. He did this to Dallas last week, turned into 6 points. Valley View at least limited the touchdown, but Coughlin does move the chains. Again, you can't grab him, Bob. You just can't go out and grab his shirt. You see him cut back there, 2 cutbacks, breaking tackles, and Cougars finally bring him down. That's just an outstanding run by Vincent Todd.
Well, he needed a positive play. That will get some momentum back. Let's see if they can cash in. They're up to midfield now, down by 19. Try the reverse again. That does not fool anyone in the blue uniform.
That was Pitzman who got in there and kind of got him by the foot. You see Pitzman with the penetration, gets him by the foot, holds on for dear life. Poor McCoy, he's set up now to get sandwiched by Sebastianelli and Swilinski. Not a good position for McCoy to be in. Nothing he could do about it, but give him credit, he took the hit and held on to the football. But another loss on the play of 5 yards.
Valley View coming up to the line with some urgency, which Aaron talked about. Five-man rush. Todd tucked it in quick, and Kwilinski rides him down. Todd looks like he's getting up very slow.
Smith and Swalinski both had him kind of caddy-cornered, Bob, where he couldn't go left, he couldn't go right, and the rest of the defensive line was in front of him. Watch this. Swalinski's there, Smith on the other side, and then Swalinski does a great job of wrapping him up, and didn't see what happened there to Todd. Hopefully he's okay, and he's not, as he's going to be down at, they see them down at the, trying to go back to the sidelines. That's a big blow for Coughlin, and hopefully that young man's okay. And they're going to take an injury timeout here.
6:09 in the third quarter. No scores put up yet. 26-7 was the score at halftime. Todd remains down, maybe just shaken up a little bit. You know, Kwilinski's 240 pounds listed, maybe 250. Todd goes in at 175, so a big difference there, thrown down by the big guy. Yeah, Booyah Burgers timeout.
I mean, give Valley View's defense credit. They have come out here in this third quarter, except for the one magic play by Todd. They have been outstanding here in this third quarter. I mean, sometimes in a game, Bob, you'll see maybe 3 or 4 tackles for losses. We've seen in this quarter alone, I believe, 6. Close to it, right? Like close?
4.
4? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
the one was on the
except
there was
for
one on
that
the penalty,
17
too.
yards.
Yeah.
Well, there's one. Yeah.
The one was on the penalty, so that didn't count. But yeah, I mean, it's just Valley View is just, they've got it figured out right now. So Coughlin's going to have to come up with a different plan offensively. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's in the playbook for Coach Michaels, who calls the plays, or Coach Sinti. But Valley View's, they're watching Todd. I'd like to see him go back to Cole again, especially on first down, Bob, because I think he's gotten 4 and 5 yard gains on first down a couple times tonight, and that just puts Coughlin in a better situation from a flexibility standpoint. Now you're going into 2nd and 15. This play is going to be 3rd and 25. And let's see the play again. You can see Swalinski beating the blocker, and Smith is right there, so he can't go that way. Just kind of throws him down, and did he hit his head? Maybe a little bit. He hit his head there, but I don't think that's what caused the problem. Hopefully Vincent Todd will be back. So new quarterback.
Wardle, yep. Garrett Wardle, the sophomore, is thrown for 168 yards. He's going to be in to throw the ball this time. He lays it up there, and it goes right in the hands of a Valley View Cougar. That's Chase Combs with a lot of help.
He was trying to get it to Diop downfield, and you just bring a cold arm into the game, and just didn't have enough steam on it. At first, I'm watching Combs. I'm like, why is he stopping? The receiver ran right past it, but give him credit. He read it. Ball just didn't get very much air underneath it. And Chase Combs comes up with a big interception here, and great defense by Valley View here in this third quarter as they force a turnover. I think that's the first turnover for the Crusaders tonight.
So here comes the Valley View offense on the field from the Coughlin 22. They're going to keep Fuller, and he's got a hole right up the middle. The quarterback going to the end zone. Touchdown, Valley View.
Do have a penalty marker down.
We do? Yes, we do.
Right at the line of scrimmage. Might have been an illegal formation on the Cougars. So this one's probably coming back, and that's unfortunate. Fuller, I think that's only his 2nd carry of the game. It would have been 2 for 2 in touchdown runs. And again, they haven't run him very much today because everything else has been working. And you can see, switches the ball nicely to the right hand, breaks the tackle, but all for naught.
So the touchdown comes off the board. Watching across the field, Chris, directly at Vincent Todd, they're checking his left shoulder. He has his helmet off right around the 45-yard line.
You'll see that when players get thrown down like that, the shoulder takes the impact. If you watch the NFL, that's what happened to Aaron Rodgers on his play where knocked him out for the season on the collarbone. You can see Todd's frustrated. He wants to get back in this game.
He's moving. Everything's moving. He's not holding anything, and they're going to have a timeout called by the Cougars. 5:42 left, no score in the third quarter, so it remains 26-7. We are back. Valley View ran a play. This is their second play in this drive after the penalty. Vernon picks up good yardage to about the 16-yard line. So 3rd down on the way for the Cougars.
They run Pittsman, get several of those yards back, and now you see Vernon trying to pop it outside there. Little sidestep. Good tackle, though, on the play by McCoy, I believe. Cougars will try to convert the 3rd down here, and don't forget they do have pretty good kicking game, so if they don't get it, field goal could be an option for Valley View.
Under 5 to play here in the 3rd. Another hole off the left side. Vernon inside the 10, a 1st down. So 1st and goal, Cougars from the 8.
Offensive line doing the job once again. Can't say enough about these guys tonight. John Schnippes, E.J. Alco, Connor Judge, Mike Sebastianelli, and Brian Durkin. 5 underclassmen for Valley View as they're working their way towards a district championship game. And that's a pretty good unit already, most of them in their junior year.
Looks like they'll be taking on Berwick next week if Valley View can hold on here. Vernon into the pack, up to the 5.
Yeah, Valley View right now will take this. They'll run the football, run some clock, try to get out of here without any injuries. And like you said, if they can maintain this lead, they'll head down to Crispin Field, where there's been some historic games between Valley View and Berwick in the past.
Yeah.
There's some history there, especially in the old Eastern Conference. This touchdown in here, if they can score, would really put Coughlin's backs against the wall.
Todd, is, just so you're wondering, is standing near the coaches as Cordish goes in for the touchdown. He may have lost the ball momentarily, but he already crossed the goal line. Cougars add on to their lead.
Cordish with his 2nd touchdown of the evening. Again, look at the hole, Bob. Just a little cutback. And he runs over the would-be tackler in the end zone. And Valley View turns the turnover into some points.
Cesarini on. This extra point gets up, and it is through. 27 unanswered for the Cougars, and they're up now 33-7. 3:07 remaining in the 3rd.
The club at the Highlands is now booking holiday parties and weddings. Join them for their amazing Thanksgiving buffet and every Sunday for their football specials. Call or check them out on Facebook. It's the club at the Highlands.
So there was 2 turnovers in the game through the air for Coughlin, and Valley View has converted both of those into touchdowns.
And again, the problem for Coughlin now is they just don't throw the ball very well. They're not a passing team. Cole, Todd, that's really what their offense is, and it has been successful many times this season. But now changes a little bit when you're down so much, only 3:07 left in the 3rd. Still time for the Crusaders, but they're going to have to find some different ways to do it.
Vincent Todd back to receive, and it was actually being McCoy again. They've kept it away from Todd on the special teams all night long. Good return past the 40.
Nice job by McCoy that time. He's had some decent returns. Don't forget he's only a sophomore. So you got to think maybe he'll be the heir apparent to Todd, at least as the offensive weapon. We've seen him have a couple good runs tonight. So let's see what Coughlin comes up with. First of all, do they get their quarterback back?
Yeah, he's in.
Looks like Todd is okay. That's good to see. And if Coughlin's going to have a chance here to rally, it's going to be because of Vincent Todd.
Early on, Coughlin led 7-6 in the 1st quarter. Since then, all Valley View and that rushing attack has just punched Coughlin right in the mouth. Savon up. I haven't seen 32 out there much on the offensive side. And They didn't really look for him. We'll have to look for him on defense too, Chris, because you mentioned they get it to Jake Cole, but in this second half, it's been on Sylvan behind Todd.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too. So Coughlin, if that's the case, you're correct. They lose their second best offensive weapon. And again, I didn't see him get hurt during any play, but again, you're right, Bob. He's not out there. He's on the sideline.
Todd back. Here comes the backside rush. They didn't get him. Stiff arm by Todd, still on his feet. Out of bounds into the netting, and they're going to call it out at the Cougar 40.
Well, Todd looks healthy on that play, and again, just a straight drop back. Swilinski again grabbing. You can't grab. You got to tackle. Nice stiff arm by Todd, and coming over Jones to finally push him out of bounds, but not before a big gainer. And with Cole out, it's going to be up to Todd. Kind of have to put a little Superman cape on him here, and he's going to have to do a lot, but right there you saw what he's capable of.
Cole does not look from my vantage point through the glasses, shaken up just on the sidelines, maybe just the coach's decision. So Sylvan goes up for 5.
It's a good first down gain for the Crusaders. Sebastianelli coming down to make the tackle for Valley View, but not before a 4-yard gain on the play. It's almost like they give the ball to somebody else, Bob, to give Todd a breather.
Break, yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
It's, you know, you see him, he's breathing heavy. I mean, he's doing a lot of running around. He might run for 10 yards, but he runs about 50 yards to get that 10 yards sometimes. So he's a good athlete, but even the good athletes get tired.
Power formation. Sylvan stuck his head in there, went about for 3, 3rd and 3 on the way for Coughlin.
You know, we look at the weekly stats, and you don't see Sylvan's name in there very often, Bob. So this is a new role for him as well. And
yeah, coming in, he just had 7 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, Cole has been the workhorse, over 1,000 yards this year, and Todd does the rest. And it's kind of like the Crusaders are playing on one leg now. I mean, it's tough. Puts a lot more pressure on different people, and even with Todd, Valley View has to be aware of that.
Just trying to power through. Defense meets him right there. Smith, loss on the play, brings up 4th down.
Nasir Smith might be one of the most improved players for this Valley View team this season. He played a little bit of the secondary. I think he was actually a corner last year for Valley View, and he's moved up, and he's been a key player for them. And that's going to be the end of our 3rd quarter. Coughlin's not going to take another snap as they will try to convert a 4th down.
So the Cougars look like they may be on their way to the District 2 4A championship. They have 1 more quarter left to claim that role. Back at John Hens' Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville, Lackawanna County. Getting ready to start the 4th quarter in this District 2 4A semifinal. Bob Ide, Chris Kaharski, Aaron Dugan is down trying to stay warm on the sidelines. We are set to begin the 4th quarter. It's been all Valley View since quarter number 1. And they're looking to get into the district championship game again. Inside shovel pass. Can't try that. Kyle Klawinski with the big stop, and it's Valley View over on down.
Trying to get it to McCoy, a little shuffle pass, and boy, Swilinski right there. Just wasn't fooled, read the man coming in motion, and I'll tell you what, Kyle Swilinski's had a heck of a game here tonight, Bob. He has been a force. He's chased Todd at times. He's caught him a couple times. Very good game for Swilinski in his senior year. Possibly, it looks like his final home game here at Valley View.
Trips coming out to the far near side, excuse me. They're going to put Fuller in the shotgun. Up 33-7. Trying to work on that passing attack. They're going for the dagger. Downfield, caught. Is he inbounds? He is. Big play. Chase Combs pulls it in.
You see the difference with Fuller? When he, in a straight drop back, you have a better ability to set your feet, and he did that, and look at the nice footwork by Combs, keeping in bounds. That's a perfect throw by Chandler Fuller. I broadcast the Valley View Honesdale game, the final regular season game for the Cougars on the radio side, Bob, and that's the kind of throws he was making all night. He's capable of doing it. It's sometimes just mechanics with him, and he's going to need to do that next week.
Oh, I was just thinking that same exact thing.
They're going to need the passing game a little bit more than they needed it tonight.
40-yard pass play. Back to the ground game they go. This is Boone, the third back tonight to get carries, up for a couple. And a little pushing and shoving. Downfield.
And Boone is a talent in himself. He doesn't get many carries because Vernon, the senior, and Cordish, the junior. Boone only a sophomore. And a lot of teams, he could be the starting tailback and be a 1,000-yard rusher. He's that talented. You can see the defensive impact he has made all season long, but he has a chance here to showcase himself a little bit. And he'll be a big part of this Valley View offense next year when Vernon graduates. Him and Cordish will see a lot of carries in that backfield.
Again, the line will be back for Valley View, but it looks like at least one more game left in the District 2 4A championship next week. Chris mentioned down at Crispin Field. Boom with a move. Takes a big hit inside the 15.
The one thing you'll see from Boone is he's very physical. He's not big, but he's very physical. And even if you watch, you mentioned, Bob, watch this. He takes the big hit, but where does he end up going? Still falls forward. Never went down really from the hit. He got tackled from the legs there, and that just shows you what a strong runner he is, especially being only a sophomore. Valley View trying to put the nail in the coffin here, Bob.
Boone with some moves, and talked about Jake Cole, the big linebacker, came in with 108 tackles. The senior off the field looks like he's shaken up. He has not returned in a while. He's not out on defense, and we didn't see him anywhere on offense.
That's unfortunate, too. He's had such a great career at Coughlin. Again, I remember watching him as a sophomore and his presence on the field, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You know, Coughlin's always had great running backs, great running game. He's been a part of that the last couple years, but defense is where he was strong.
Bring Vernon back in, or is that Jones? That's
Jones.
Trayon Jones. So the fourth running back to get carries today.
And again, he was the starting tailback almost all of last season. Vernon had some injuries, and Jones carried the ball a lot last year, and he's not big size-wise. Vernon's tall, long legs, tall, long stride.
Wasn't Jones the starter back on August 26th, the first game we did against Lakeland?
He was
the starter.
He was involved, but again, he got hurt, and Vernon took it from there. Ooh,
oh, big hit.
That's a nice tackle there. That was Young.
He's a little fired up, but his team down. Under 9 to play here in the fourth quarter. Look at this one again, different angle.
Yeah, it came in from the end, and I don't think Jones saw him. And that's a nice tackle. That's all about size right there. He just bulldozed him. Look at the size of him. He's a big kid, and he delivered a pop right there.
He's loved playing tonight, though. You can just tell. Switching sides. Second and goal.
Referees are going to try to break it up, a little pushing and shoving going on.
Touchdown, Valley View.
And now they'll say Jones crossed. Some frustration on the Coughlin side right now. Let's see. Yeah, he got hit in the hole again, but look at it again, he keeps going forward, and didn't really see it good from that angle. It was close, but the referees ruled he was in, and Valley View extends their lead.
Cesarini's kick is up and good. So Valley View has to run out the last 8:07, and they're headed to the District 2 4A championship game. They lead Coughlin now 40-7. So looks like the Cougars will be meeting the Bulldogs for the 4A championship next week at Crispin Field. Hopefully it's a little warmer next Friday night. Talk about that in just a couple of seconds. And Sakatian to kick it off. And like they've done all night long, they kick it away from Todd. McCoy's handled all the kickoffs tonight up to the 25.
What happens when 4 geeks become friends with one beautiful girl? Find out weeknights at 7 and 7:30 p.m. Join Sheldon for intelligent comedy and laughs on The Big Bang Theory. Weeknights at 7 and 7:30, only on Fox 56.
$7:59 remaining. 33-point lead now for the Cougars. Some of the crowd is left, but, you know, good numbers still remaining here to check out the end of this game. All bundled up. Tomorrow at noon, I'll be down. The whole crew will be down at McCarthy Stadium in Kings as the Cougars get Todd again. Maybe a yard, no yard. No gain on the play at all.
Yeah,
they've done a good job stringing him out tonight.
Yeah, since the first drive, every time he's rolled out, Valley View's got him to the border, and he's got nowhere to go. I mean, he's not able to turn it up, and that's what he's good at. Actually, the only time he's made some big plays here since that first drive is reversing direction. But he's not even had an opportunity to do that, Bob. Valley View's defense has been outstanding here, especially in the second half.
Eric Savan getting most of the carries here in the second half with Cole on the sidelines. Now I think Coughlin just wants to run out the clock. If you're Valley View, don't get anyone injured at this point. As Durkin comes off. A little shaken up. See some of the second team in there coming up for the Cougars. Chris, you picked, I remember week 1 you said, I like Valley View for the championship in 4A District 2. Not too many people were picking them. You felt something, and you're around them a lot. Now next week they have to play a very good Berwick team. The Bulldogs are streaking. They got Marshman back. Their defense is stellar, just like Valley View's is, as we have a penalty at Coughlin.
Yeah, I thought the Cougars got that experience from last year, and I also think this group is a special group of kids too. I know a lot of them because I do live in the district, but I follow high school football and talk to a lot of coaches, and this is a good group of leaders on this team, and also, you know, the underclassmen who came up, again, they won a freshman title. They went unbeaten last year. The freshman team was unbeaten this year again, Bob. So I think the future's bright for Valley View, and the future might be now for the Cougars.
Told Berwick won that game against North Pocono tonight.
And I thought Berwick would be right there as well. I was a little worried about their offense, and with Marshman back, he's a difference maker.
Absolutely.
They don't have one standout guy. Evan Klinger can make plays. Damon Beckhorn can make plays. Owen Shoemaker, he's become kind of their fullback, where he's running the football and pounding people. I knew Berwick was going to be good defensively. Coach Sheptock does a great job taking over for the late George Curry. The program is definitely in good hands, and I think we're going to see a great championship game next week. The Dogs and the Cats, basically.
Bumped by Haran again, was out of bounds at the 40, so Coughlin will have the ball there.
Bob, while we have a second, I'd like to send out some condolences to the family of Valley View Middle School teacher Katie Gilroy, who unfortunately passed away at the very young age of 39. I know her peers, the students who she taught, are very saddened by this loss. She was a well-liked teacher, well-liked person, well-liked mother. So condolences out to the Gilroy family, the Sokolowski family. A terrible loss for this community, and I know our thoughts and prayers are with her family. So it's tough when you lose somebody young.
Maybe the Cougars can win a championship game for her. See some of the second teamers now in. Manchak with the carry. Stanton in at quarterback.
Yeah, Jeremy Stanton. We talked about him a couple times this year, and he's kind of stuck because he's a senior behind Chandler Fuller, and he's been a great team player for this Cougar team. Doesn't complain, runs the scout team, and he comes in when the Cougars need him. So he's getting an opportunity to play one last game here on his home field, and it's a credit to that young man.
Carry there inside Coughlin territory.
Cougars want to run clock, obviously. We're not in the mercy rule at this point, so the clock is going to continue to stop on.
Well, congratulations, Scranton Prep. 2 in a row for them, 3A finals. They'll meet District 4 next week, and Loyal Sock was beating Danville. I'll check on that score again. Old Forge leading. Lake Chris, looks like they'll move on.
Play Williams Valley or Tri-Valley. Whoever's winning that game.
Williams Valley state ranked. A lot of people anticipating that. Dunmore will win another state title. 3 in a row for the Bucks now, is it?
District title, Bob.
District title.
He said state.
Oh, sorry.
You're getting
District
ahead of yourself.
I was thinking.
You're going to start getting tweets from Southern Columbia fans.
No, don't do that. District final for Dunmore.
I hope it gets to that point, though, that those two great programs end up meeting in the state Eastern final. Won't be the state final.
We've been knock on wood.
Almost happened last year.
Southern still has to play a final next week. They're
That's
in the
true.
District 4 final. Dunmore next week. York Catholic or Newport, that game will be in District 3 next week.
And they don't play till tomorrow night, correct?
Tomorrow night, right.
Cade Bennett getting a carry for Valley View now, the sophomore. Clock continues to run here. 3:35 remaining in the fourth. Got to give, while we have some time here, really got to give credit to this Coughlin unit. I mean, they came in a big underdog last week, and although they came in tonight hoping to win this game, I think that victory last week is going to stick in their memory for a long time, especially Vincent Todd, who was outstanding.
Big hit.
Yeah, big hit. That was DeCinti. Manchek.
Again, not many backup players for Coughlin. Only 32 on the roster, and a couple already banged up, as we talked about Jake Cole.
But again, these seniors have something to at least take, to their graduation, that huge upset of Dallas last week. So congratulations to them. It wasn't a great season for Coughlin. They had some ups and downs, but when you win a game like that, it kind of makes it all worthwhile.
Well, I would suspect when your all-region team comes out for NDPA football that Vincent Todd will be on it, either as a quarterback, athlete, kick returner, punt returner, you name it.
Yeah, he's going to be on high on everybody's list. And, NPF We do the district, all district team,
Yep.
which is everybody. Doesn't matter what level, which conference, and then each conference we do as well. In fact, we do the official Wyoming Valley Conference. We take the coaches and our staff, and we announce those for both the Lackawanna Football Conference divisions and the Wyoming Valley Conference division. So, again, I think you're right. I think Todd will be high on those lists. So, a lot of competition. There's some very good football players in the Wyoming Valley Conference big school division.
Todd looking to extend his career next year at some point in college. Great athlete.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Cinti. He's getting some looks from 1AA schools. If he doesn't get what he wants, maybe he looks at a school like Lackawanna College, who obviously that's a great place to go if you're not sure, if you're not getting exactly to where you want to go. And Mark Duda does a great job for the Falcons over the years, and he sends kids to Division I programs. That's what he does. They have actually a huge game this week. They're going to play down at Marshall, a game they play every year against Georgia Military Academy. Will decide if they go to a bowl game or not. So good luck to the Falcons. A hidden gem, really, here in Northeast Pennsylvania. If you ever want to go see some Division I action, you don't want to go to State College, you want to take the trip,
go to Scranton Memorial.
Right? Yeah. It's great football. They've got kids playing Division I right now all over the country.
2 plays away for Valley View, punching their ticket to the District 2 for a final against Berwick next week, assuming it's Friday night at 7. Coughlin led in 7-6, but since then, 34 unanswered for this Cougar team. Most of that on the ground. There was one big pass play, Fuller to Combs for 40 yards in that third quarter.
Pretty much everything's a final now, Bob, all across the district. Old Forge did win that state game.
Delaware Valley won.
Yeah, they were up 31-3 last we had, but that game actually I think is still going on. We're waiting for an update from our guys.
They were up big. Hey, Hazelton was having a great year. So this one is in the books. The Cougars take the field. They win this semifinal game. The final score, 40-7. Aaron Dugan trying to get our players of the game. Nasir Smith and Seth Vernon. Talk to them. I know she'll be asking them about playing Berwick next week. The crowd's gonna get out of here. Get home and get warm. Great job by our crew tonight, as always, Chris, but you know, yeoman duty when you're standing out here in sub-zero temperatures with the wind chill. So shout out to all of our crew and the camera people and Aaron.
Yeah, those guys are doing all the hard work. We're just along for the ride.
Yeah, we're just some hot air bags, that's all we are. So Aaron will try to get our players of the game very shortly. Quick word on Valley View going to the final.
Yeah, I mean, the Cougars have earned it. I mean, they've been one of the best teams all season in our Super 6 rankings on NPF. We have them number 2, Berwick number 3. I mean, don't forget, Valley View lost a total of 3 games by 12 points, 2 of those to unbeaten teams. They gave Delaware Valley their best game of the season, and they gave Scranton Prep their best game of the season. 2 games they probably should have won, to be honest with you, Bob, if you watch those games. But you know, they're playing good football right now. They're well balanced in the running game. You know, Vernon is really the guy, but really they can get it from anywhere.
Okay, let's go down to Aaron.
All right, let's start with our first player of the game, Nasir Smith. How good does it feel to be heading to that district game?
It feels really great. We haven't been here since my brother's last year's of high school, so it feels good to return and be back, you know?
What part of your game are you just really confident about right now when it comes to these guys behind you?
Our running game. Right here, baby. Heart and soul of our running game. That's all it is.
Taking on Berwick next week, how do you feel about that?
You know, they put up big numbers against North Pocono, so we expect a battle from them, so we're going to go up there and give them all we got.
What's this week going to be like preparing?
Tough. Mentally, we're going to be tough. Physically, we're going to be tough. We're going to be going at it all week. All week, we're going to go at it.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, move on to our next player of the game, Seth Vernon, heading to that district game. How pumped are you?
Oh, my God. I'm so excited. It doesn't happen all the time. We got to make the most of it.
Your senior year, what would it mean to you to win next week?
What
would it mean to you to win next week?
Everything, because just being here, I just made such a big bond with this. They're all my family. I love them. I want to win it with them.
Special group this year?
Yes, it really is.
Talk to me about this week. What are you going to focus on?
It's a big game because we're at Berwick, and they're a great team, #1 seed. So we really just need to focus on getting the ball in the air more and just hitting holes with the backs.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you guys.
Okay, Aaron, go in and get warm. So that will wrap it up here from John Hens' Veterans Memorial Stadium. Tomorrow, our crew at noon, right here on my TV. It's the Mayor's Cup game for the 22nd time. It's Wilkes versus Kings. Stay inside. Watch our game at noon tomorrow. Wilkes and Kings for the Mayor's Cup right here on my TV. We talked about the crew. Great job by them tonight. Great job by Aaron. Chris, good job. We'll see you in the playoffs. This is Bob Ide saying so long from Peckville.
You're watching Wendy's Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.